Good morning, everyone. So I'm very excited to make this film, but I'm actually also kind of nervous because it's gonna stir some shit up and probably gonna make some people really uncomfortable in self-reflecting on how they are with their spiritual practices and what they kind of put out into the world. So but you know what? It's kind of my nature to do this. It's my nature to kind of challenge people, and bring awareness to things that some people like aren't talking about. So true to me, that is what I'm gonna do. So I hope that it's not super triggering, but I hope it is a nice self-reflective video where you can look at yourself and what you're doing and how you're doing it, so that we can be more inclusive and more supportive of each other and more understanding and not so egotistical when it comes to religion or spirituality. All right? Okay, so that was my little intro there. I'm back in my room because my kids are still home from school, so we're chilling here today. So yeah, I just wanted to, this has been bugging me for years, like honestly, it really has. Like I've grown up being very empathic and watching people how they interact with each other, and I've been so fascinated on humans and this just the way that they function with each other, right? And I've looked up, so in high school, like I had this weird fascination with looking up cults and different things, because I was so fascinated how some of these things had started as such like this beautiful, like, you know, let's come together, love, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, then it goes sideways. And the next thing you know, everybody's drinking Kool-Aid. And you're like, what the heck happened, right? How could something so beautiful and something like this great idea, whatever, you know, spirituality or realm that was in, turn so dark like so quickly, right? And it's just like, so anyways, I've always been fascinated with this, and I wanted to talk about ego and spirituality, and so basically the dark side of the ego. So we're not talking about a healthy connection to ego, a healthy connection to self, a healthy connection to this kind of human realm and being here. I'm talking about ego and how it destroys. It has destroyed. It has caused wars. It has caused division. It has caused like exclusion. Like it is so all over the place, guys. So yeah, like it's not just religion. Like religion, you see, it does show up, but like even with my yoga training, like we learned about all the teachers and all these different lineages, right? And it's always such a like beautiful thing to learn these practices, but then when you start seeing some of the darker sides, now you can go Google some of this stuff yourself. Like I don't have to go through every single one, but if you Google some of these, you know, huge yogis, like you're gonna see some pretty messed up things where power, control, and ego got into the way of their decisions, and they had really harmed people, right? So I can't quite get my head behind some of these ideas of like, first off, this idea that like this is right and that's wrong. You guys, it's all about perspective. So the person that believes this thinks that that's what's real and that's what their perspective is. And this person thinks that's what's real and that's their perspective. Who is right and wrong? What does it really matter? It's their perspective. And as I've been told by a very good friend of mine, you know, if it makes you a better person and it makes you a loving person, then who cares? Like, who cares? Like, why can't we go about sharing our spirituality in a way that's very inclusive, right? Like go read the book, I think it's called the Book of Joy. And it talks about, you know, these two huge leaders coming together, and it's like they have completely different beliefs, but yet they can be together and support each other and have this amazing similarity. It's like it's including everybody. Okay, if you're with a spirituality or a religion that is excluding anyone or not loving everybody and all that, I think I have a problem with that. I really do. Because who is to say that anyone knows for sure what's right and wrong? Like, or what's the truth, I guess is what I'm saying. What's the truth? how do you really know? I mean, like, I was raised in a religious home, and I remember being like, you know, they'd be like, okay, da 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 da, and they tell you all these things, and I'm like, but how do you know? And it's like, well, we just know. And I'm like, but how? Because, you know, like nobody's like, you know, like we have these experiences. Like I have my spiritual beliefs, and I feel what I feel, and I experience what I experience, but I also have that humble nature to say, like, I really don't know. Like, I mean, I don't really know. Maybe this is the right path. Maybe that's the right path. Maybe there is no right path. Maybe it all goes to the same thing. And so really it doesn't matter. Why are we fighting each other and having wars in the first place? Because it all comes back to this ultimate, you know, energetic, godly source and universe. So it's like we're all going to the same place anyway. So it doesn't matter if you take a bike or a car or a train, like really. And I know that this is going to cause a lot of like debate, and I'm prepared for the fact that this is going to be like, well, but mine is right, mine's right, and I just can't get my head around it. I can't. But what happens time and time again, what I've seen, and I'll speak from the spiritual world, so not a religious sense, because I'm not in any specific religion, so I don't want to speak on that point, but like on the spiritual realm, right? And that can be in so many different directions, right? Like we've got anything from like, you know, yogi and meditating to light language to like you could just, it's all over the place, right? So it encompasses a lot of different things, right? The healing arts and all that stuff. What I find really interesting is this what we don't like about other, like why we're not in religion, because we don't like the, you know, only stick with your own kind sort of thing. We kind of do the same thing. And I really work at not doing that because, well, I just won't, because I just don't believe in it. But I see it. I see this idea of like, let's help our own kind. Like we're only here for other people that are like us. And I cannot get my head around that. Like we're sent here. So even if we're going to progress as a soul, right? Like we're here to progress and learn these things and yada, 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 like all that stuff. It's like, if we're going to do that, aren't we progressing through the work that we're doing with the people that are here? Right? We're not doing this work. We're not learning anything by just sitting in our books and meditating all day. I mean, yeah, that's going to open up things. But if we're not working with the earth and with this human realm and with this human experience, if we're not working with the people, how are we learning the lessons we need to learn? How are we moving forward? If we just could disconnect ourselves from this human realm and from helping people, how are we learning anything, right? So it's I have these different issues. I have these issues of only sticking with your own kind that believe what you believe. I have these issues of like of sitting there and not getting your hands dirty. Like if you're a spiritual person and you're here to do spiritual work with people and help people, then that means getting your hands dirty. That means getting down there. That means helping the people that need it. And that is not always pretty. It is not like you're making tons of money lots of times. It's not like you're sitting there and like working with, you know, like in these high-end places and these high-end, like we're not on Oprah. We're not on any of these things. We're the ones that are getting our hands dirty with the people that really need us, okay? So that's another problem I have. And the other problem on top of that is just the ego, guys, like ego, like everybody, like I said, we start with this beautiful idea of love and light and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, next you know, you're having wars with people and killing people. How does that even make sense? How? It's not even connected. That's not what you came up with in the first place. So how do we take something that's a love and destroy it and say that you're still fighting for love? You're not. Through your actions, you're not living what you're preaching. So why? Why? Because it's ego, it's control, it's power. It's all about, you know, wanting to raise yourself up higher than everyone else around you. And I want to say, like, yes, we're all on different realms of awakening, but I don't see it as you're here and I'm here. I see it as that we're just popping different bubbles at different times, and the things that, you know, this person's working on, I'm not working on, and maybe that's not my gift, and maybe that's nothing I need to do in this lifetime, and maybe this person's over here doing that, or this person's here, and maybe there's a young soul that's just starting off, you know, and they're just popping the little bubbles. Like, they're not less than. We're not in a hierarchy here, guys. Like, we're all here. We're all from the same energy. We're all from the same thing. So bringing yourself kind of down a little bit off that pedestal and say, like, we're all on the same playing field. We're all equal. So let's not, you know, A, push our beliefs on other people. B, not be inclusive and help everybody around us, no matter what they are, what they look like, who they are, anything, or what they believe in, being with each other and getting your hands dirty and learning the lessons through the hard work, not just through hanging out with other people that are just like you, which is only going to elevate you so much, right? Because you're just going to go in circles talking about the same things. So you need to have those people, but you need to have the people that are down here that you're getting your hands dirty with and working with to help you learn some of those lessons that these people, they're not interested in, you know? That to me is balance. That to me is being humble to know that you do not have all the answers. It's dropping the ego and realizing, like, this is not some like battlefield of like who's better and who's, you know, knows this and who's right and who's wrong. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like kids fighting, right? And I'm so worked up. But and yeah, so yeah, okay. I'm gonna wrap this up. Basically, what I'm trying to rant about is the fact that we need to keep ourselves in check. All right? Keep yourself in check. If you want to be a spiritual person, then get your hands dirty and work with the people that really need it. Number one. Number two, be inclusive to everyone, even if they don't believe what you believe. Have patience with people. People come when they come, and if it's not their belief, that's okay. Let them do their thing. And if that makes them a good person, then by all means, who are you to say that it's wrong, right? So, like, don't judge people. Yeah, and just love. And if that's what you're coming from, and you're coming from love, then carry that love straight through and make sure that it doesn't get twisted and judge. You know, I'm going to only love you if you're like me. If I'm only going to love you if you believe what I believe, and I'm only going to help you if you're one of us. Like, that is not spirituality, guys. It's hypocrisy. It's not right. So, yes. So just make sure you're aligned with your truth, right? Your heart center, make sure you're aligned with your belief systems, and do your thing by all means. But just love each other, guys. Love each other. That's all it's about. All right? All right. If you made it through this video, awesome. I'm so sorry if I triggered some things. I'm sure I've shooken some shit up. And that's okay, you know, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to just kind of be like, you know, guys, like, we got to get our heads out of our asses, because I see it in the spiritual realm all the time. And these spiritual people that are trying to help people, but we won't do it because they're not like us. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So yeah, so this is coming from me and seeing not only just my religious background and what has happened with that, but also the spiritual realms and the healing arts and stuff like that, and just bringing some clarity of like where we at, guys, where we at. Like, we need to be here for everyone, not just the people that can pay us huge amounts of money or that can offer us a beautiful space to work, right? We're here for everyone. All right, so get your hands dirty, make sure you keep yourself in check, and love everyone. All right. Okay. Mwah. I love you guys all. Thank you for being here. Bye.